Hi there, and welcome to She Spice. Since Cassie documented her claim against Diddy in November, the Terrible Kid Records pioneer has been met with a flood of charges. He's been blamed, denounced, and considerably more as his supposed casualties keep on approaching with their accounts. Miss Jones has joined the conversation as of late, sharing her own experience with Diddy on Pink Champions, as per Miss Jones. One of her disagreements with Diddy was a long way from charming, and a feline something worked in someone. I don't need you exploding my home, my vehicle, or any such thing. I don't on the grounds that I don't. He previously took steps to place me in the storage compartment of a vehicle. Luckily, she says that Lil' Kim was there to make all the difference in a clasp from the episode she had him on her morning show, where she supposedly found him undermining her. You know, when we take you in the backspace to do ads, when we have you on the radio, she said he didn't have the foggiest idea that the tape was running, and on the off chance that I hadn't heard it, I could never have accepted it. Miss Jones asserts that, fortunately, Lil' Kim came to her protection. Lil' Kim said, "Let Jonesy be Jonesy. Don't hurt anyone. Stop." That's right. Lil' Kim saved me. She's my legend, so I simply express where there's smoke, there's fire, she additionally added. Miss Jones continued portraying how, in the midst of Diddy's claims, men ought to keep quiet, except if they're supporting great on the off chance of success. You won't have to stand up for what's right. Quiet it the F down, she said. Diddy still can't seem to answer Miss Jones' charges anyway. This isn't the initial occasion when Lil' Kim has confronted Diddy. In truth, a soundbite of Lil' Kim getting down on Diddy has re-emerged and allowed me to let you know it's not laying out a lovely picture for Diddy. Snicker never put a $10 greenback, a penny a quarter in my cum AR. He never thought of me a letter. He didn't attempt to come see me. Lil' Kim is guaranteed that Diddy cut her off when she went to jail, and Dee didn't even try to compose or visit her normally. She felt sold out since Diddy was her last companion after Big Deal's passing, yet he didn't think of her as a component of his family any longer. That is the reason I said in my Baltimore show, pup, you ought to be embarrassed about yourself in late. Of the fact that by the day's end, assuming that you going to shake with anyone that hard, you ought to be giggling with me that Lil' Kim was profoundly harmed and felt sold out when Diddy didn't contact her after she was let out of jail, yet rather made music with her opponent Nicki Minaj, as Nicki was being hailed as the new sovereign of rap. Lil' Kim felt like she was being ignored and supplanted by Diddy. She communicated her dissatisfaction by pronouncing that nobody might at any point make one more Lil' Kim, as she was the unparalleled genuine sovereign of WRA, and you at any point can never make another enormous cam. That won't occur. It's never going to happen. You can detect the profundity of Kim's disloyalty when she strongly proclaimed to the world that there would never be another Lil' Kim was the first and exceptional. The dissatisfaction strengthened as 50 Penny joined the examination game, alluding to Nicki Minaj as the new Lil' Kim in Kim's eyes. This steady correlation has probably been angering since her release from jail. She anticipated that Diddy would recognize her for raising a ruckus around town and setting out certain beats with her anyway. Disappointingly, he picked Nicki rather. The entire circumstance probably left Kim feeling neglected and underestimated. In a second, where she really wanted help, an acknowledgement might have come to see me one time. You might have thought of me in one letter, even with the film they played with that film. I'm actually whacking even after they play the film, adding to her disappointment. Lil' Kim felt that Diddy played her in the film that was made about Biggie. She guaranteed she was not given a say by the way she was depicted and didn't value being portrayed as having no innovative ability and just having a vocation as a result of her relationship with Biggie. She likewise felt disregarded when the film proposed that Biggie composed every one of her melodies, despite the fact that she thought of her own verses, possibly went to him for direction when she really wanted it. She additionally guaranteed she was youthful when she had a relationship with Biggie, and didn't have the foggiest idea about any better about not being with a hitched man, in spite of the fact that she guarantees she truly cherished him, and he adored her back regardless prior to leaving. Lil' Kim in prison. Diddy had likewise deserted, as well as purportedly played a part in the unaliving of his companion and craftsman Biggie. You see, concurring to Gan Bargain, who showed up on DJ Vlad's video blog, it was accounted for that Big Deal had plans to leave Terrible Kid for a more productive open door that might have yielded him more than $60 million. This choice could not have possibly been favorable to Diddy. In spite of being perceived as an unbelievable performer, Big Deal was being paid $200 or $300 by Diddy, and all his music freedoms were held by him. In spite of the fact that he was producing a significant income for a terrible kid, he was getting negligible remuneration. A bargain affirmed this by sharing that he had seen Big Deal's awful kid contract while watching out for Diddy's portfolio during a flight. The agreement uncovered that Big Deal's profit was set at augmentations of $250,000, yet the distributing pay was claimed by a puff arrangement. Communicated questions about the agreement's believability and gotten some information about it, who purportedly uncovered his goals to seek after another arrangement that would bring about the most prominent benefits he showed me were Charlie Baltimore, Cameron Lil C.E. Lil Kim, Junior Mafia Tracy Lee, and the commission he made sense of. I think the agreement was for such countless years for like $62 million as per bargain. Apparently Biggie maintained that lesser mafia should change their business approach and begin composing and creating their own music. This was the motivation behind why he wanted to leave Awful Kid Records regardless of his flight. Biggie expected to keep on tutoring Lil Kim and manage him to his next name anyway. He accepted that Gene was excessively faithful to Puffy and wouldn't consider leaving. This data proposes that Big Deal's takeoff would fundamentally affect Diddy, and the last option didn't need that, albeit some contend that Daddy might not have been associated with Big Deal's he probably realized who was dependable, as indicated by a resigned FBI specialist who dealt with the case. P. Diddy might have been the expected objective in the shooting, and it's conceivable that he had some awareness of the hit. Maybe Diddy no longer saw Biggie as a companion after he chose to leave. As a matter of fact, John guaranteed that on that disastrous night, somebody had denoted Big Deal's vehicle, and it is conceivable that the dependable individual may be Diddy. For setting Gan bargain revealed that the vehicles being referred to were designed with various eye-catching stickers. While this detail might appear to be unimportant, it holds importance as proof that the disclosure shows that these vehicles were leased, and applying stickers is a reasonable infringement of rental strategies, raising remarkable concern and adding to the interest. Gan bargain affirmed that the main conceivable party fit for messing with the vehicles was the road group utilized by Bad Boy Records. He battled that they were extraordinarily situated to put the implicating stickers, stressing the need to select an open door and access they had. Curiously, Diddy's vehicle stayed without any trace of any stickers, bringing a component of doubt into the situation. Cause someone needed to know ya if you all going to get enormous to go to vehicle with the stickers on it. While the examination concerning Biggie's grievous case unfurled the big boss of safety, let slip an enticing clue. He dubiously insinuated a few strange errands and trusted to the road group, yet he advantageously stayed quiet about the subtleties. Now with this new bunch of data uncovering an inside association between the guilty party and the casualty, it appears to be profoundly plausible that the mole inside the road group played a vital part in organizing the detestable plan that isolated Big Al's vehicle from Diddy's, so one in particular that has the open door, and one in particular that might have done that with someone from the road group. In the meantime, Gene likewise uncovered that Biggie was completely mindful that Diddy had been swiping mountains of money from his pockets. However, here's the turn. Biggie himself was no heavenly messenger. Possibly it appears as though there was a twofold portion of robbery occurring inside their supposed fellowship, yet he stood by. There's something entirely different about this arranged story. Gene, in a stunning revelation, let the cat out of the bag on one more grave sin committed by Diddy. Prepare yourselves for this disclosure, which will creep you out regardless of the perilous fight seething between the East and West drifts. Diddy, the one endowed with dealing with Big Deal's profession, amazingly, would not up security. What's more, Gene pointed fingers at one more person who he accepts was in cahoots with Puffy, working hand in and to execute the devious assault as per Gene's trying cases. He by and by cautioned an individual from Big Deal's escort to remain far away from Puffy's assigned course and think about what this individual, as a matter of fact, vowed to notice Gene's fair warnings. However, in a stunning bit of occasions, Drock deceived his own statement, and, what's more, directed Biggie directly into the core of that disastrous all-nighter at Peterson Exhibition Hall. Could you, at any point, accept the dauntlessness in any case? Gene thinks that Doc wasn't acting alone in this tricky disloyalty. God help us, as per his hypotheses. Diddy himself had a subtle hand in the entire issue to help his cases. John created a sensation by sharing the disclosures made by Kirk Burroughs. A clearly big deal was at first booked to stream off to London with Kirk, yet in a spot of destiny, Giddy and Dak figured out how to convince the late rapper to discard the London designs and go to that famous after-party. While the assertions made by Gene might be thought of as dubious, it means a lot to take note of that they do. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.